Let's focus on another big part of the Ayodhya dispute. And it's not just a legal case. The legal case, by the way, gets decided by these five gentlemen. Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi. Justice S.A. Bobde, who is now the CJI designate, so he takes charge starting 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Justice Ashok Bhushan, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, and Justice S. Abdul Nazir. They were the ones sitting on that constitution bench who will be pronouncing the judgment. They can have their own separate five judgments or write a combined one or divide it whichever way they have deemed it fit. We'll only find out at 10:30 a.m. today. But I want to go across to Mandar Phanse, a senior news editor who's joining us from our newsrooms right now. Mandar, apart from the legal aspect and the religious aspect, there is also the political aspect. And Ayodhya has defined so many political outfits in our country, the way they've been given birth, they have evolved. One of them is, the biggest national party we have today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way you were conversing in the studio about those 80s and 90s, these 2 decades basically have completely changed the political topography in India, and especially the time itself was a kind of a turmoil time in Indian politics as well as the socio-political scenario. We can just go quickly how it was a churning in this particular time. In 1981, when mass conversion of Dalit families to Islam in Meenakshipuram, Tamil Nadu was happening, and it just started across the country, like anti-Sikh riots after the assassination of Indira Gandhi. Prelude to that, it was Operation Blue Star, and from Operation Blue Star to again Mehbooba Mufti's abduction from Punjab to Kashmir. It was all boiling in India. The next thing we can just see that VHP has in the same time started organizing Dharm Sansad and single, especially he's called for the building of Ram Temple. This was the beginning of that right-wing politics in India, where in 1990 L.K. Advani has laid that Rath Yatra, the famous Rath Yatra, where the whole country was completely converged together just to awaken the Hindu sentiments by the right-wing political parties. 1985, SC grants right to alimony in the Shahbanu Talaq case. This was the most important time as far as Indian politics is concerned, because Rajiv Gandhi, who has later on, we can come to that particular aspect also, because he has been controversial during this time where under pressure from Muslim leaders, Congress government nullifies the order. And that has completely changed the polity, again fanning the sentiments of Hindus. And that's why later on, possibly Rajiv Gandhi opens the lock to disputed site in Ayodhya. This has again created a uproar in Muslims, and obviously this has created a kind of a conducive environment for BJP's politics ahead. Rajiv Gandhi government allows a Shilanyas ceremony a month ahead of the polls in 1989. So that goes how it was completely boiling at that time, and it was changing. So Rajiv's controversial decisions was one thing which has led further to Mandal versus Kamandal kind of a politics in India. Remember, in the Rajiv Gandhi government itself, in the earlier time, VP Singh was one of the most important personalities, and there was a kind of a team. Rajiv Gandhi couldn't really adjust with VP Singh and his advances in certain aspects while he was a finance minister and later on even the defense minister. So of course, Mandal versus Kamandal politics, when VP Singh came out of Congress, in the same time it has gave rise to this Mandal versus Kamandal politics. VP Singh government was on this shaky ground with infighting in the Janata Dal. So it was again a rise of various political parties. It was the rise of National Front politics, the coalition politics. Janata Dal was there. Later on, Samajwadi came in. Every other political party was shaping up in the regions, which was kind of an anti-Congress regional parties, but with some or the other kind of a secular face to it. So VP Singh announced implementation of the Mandal Commission report, the famous Mandal Commission report, which was again much debated in this time, having some history to it, since the President Jal Singh. And if we understand really, the RSS BJP announced Hindu unity as their social objective. In the same time, the country was completely divided into caste politics. The country was also experiencing the religious politics on its horizon. In August 1990, Mandal Commission report was implemented, and again the caste versus the religion politics started shaping up in India. Later on, from October 1990, Ram Temple campaign picked up a pace as a result of all these prelude activities, and then this Ram Temple campaign was at the center of the Indian politics. So this was the era where Indian politics has completely changed. Fall of BP government and rise of Mulayam, that was one of the most important factors. At the same time, while the Ram Temple activity was on, in October 1990, Advani's Rath Yatra to Ayodhya was stopped at Samastipur, while VP Singh was Prime Minister, and in Bihar, this Rath Yatra was stopped. Then Bihar CM Lalu Prasad Yadav ordered Advani's arrest under NSA, National Security Act. So that was one thing which has flamed the overall sentiments, and Advani has was a staunch, very strong right-wing leader as a face in Indian politics. Advani blamed Prime Minister VP Singh. UP CM Mulayam Singh ordered firing at car sevaks in Ayodhya. This was the complete, in a way, uncontrolled kind of a situation. And thereupon, after this firing, we saw the overall impact on the later elections in India. The electoral impact was, of course, very, very clear that in 1989, Lok Sabha polls, BJP increased tally from 2 to 85. That was a big tasting ground for BJP and big taste of victory with the help of the religious politics. Lok Sabha polls, BJP went up to 120 from 85 with 51 seats in UP. That was again a taste, taste of the victory which BJP has got in during the same time. Lok Sabha polls, BJP as single largest party had a 13-day government. This was the beginning of the NDA and NDA-led politics in India against Congress. So obviously in 1998, BJP came back to power as National Democratic Alliance. So this was the overall churning time, and how it has really impacted on the electoral politics in India. So BJP, as it came to NDA, you can see how the politics was really shaping up. The rising of BJP was
absolutely, Mandar. And look at that, number. In 1989, in the Lok Sabha polls, BJP went to 85 from 2 seats from the previous round. And from that to now, an overwhelming thumping majority by itself, where it doesn't seem to even need its allies of the NDA. That's the growth of the BJP it's been. And while the most recent round has primarily also been because of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah,